You are welcome to the knowledge series on artificial intelligence. As the name indicates, the artificial intelligence, if you try to split into two parts, artificial is a word which means it's not a real but the mimic of the real objects. And the intelligence, on the other hand, it's the way the particular object can able to visualize or can able to think in a clear perspective. So artificial intelligence, if from the slide you can see that it's a branch of a computer science that emphasizes the development of a intelligence machines thinking and working like human. Now, as the word artificial intelligence, if you try to see, it's the machine that has to behave in an intelligent way, and it will behave as a way, the way the human used to think, and that particular human thinking is being imparted to the systems or the machines or the computer or a CPU that can able to behave exactly the way the human can able to act and behave. So, for example, the speech recognitions, when we talk, the other person will able to recognize what we have spoken to them in the same way when we communicate to a person very far away using a system. So our word should be recognized by the systems, and on the other hand, the system should also recover back. That means we are coding it back and thereby it will able to decode it back at the receiver end. So the speech recognitions, the problem solving, any situations occur, say in the process industries, a particular pattern is not appropriate. So the human, instead of the presence of a human, if the systems can be put together to visualize every pattern in a very clear perspectives, then that particular problem solving approach artificial intelligence systems can be able to do. Learning and planning. The system should be able to learn by experience, and thereby it will try to create its own model, and further it can be able to solve the things when it comes across for a new or for the first time. So here this learning and planning is a very clear examples of a machine learning. So the artificial intelligence can able to give a contributions towards the machine learning recognitions as well as able to visualize. Intelligence is the ability to think, to learn from experience, to solve problems and to adapt to any situations. For example, in the intelligence, if you take into considerations, it's about the individual's IQs, individual functioning, intelligence quotients, and its performance varies. If it is a biological way, if you try to take into consideration, it varies from age. So that intelligence from the systems level, we can try to minimize it by using a proper training and testing methods. So the father of artificial intelligence is none other than John McCarthy. So the John McCarthy, the father of artificial intelligence, has given to this world a very great contributions. We can say that artificial intelligence, in another word, is the science and engineering of making the intelligent machines, especially intelligent computer programs. So you can take an example in the field of maths, psychology, cognitive, biology, philosophy and many other areas. The artificial intelligence try to contribute a lot. Artificial intelligence in a summarized way, we can say that it's it's a it's a computer programmed systems, a computer controlled robot, and a software that can able to think in a intelligent way. The artificial intelligence is basically accomplished by studying the area that how the human brain should able to think. That is one. How the human can able to learn, decides, and work. The same thing the artificial intelligence should also do. The way the human try to solve the problem, the same way the artificial intelligence should also able to contribute. That means the way the human thinks, the way the human learns, the way the human can able to solve the problems, all these three things, if the systems can able to contribute, then we can say that that particular system is an intelligent system. So based on this intelligent software and hardware systems, the artificial revolutionary contribution is being taking place in the modern world. Now, what is the goal of artificial intelligence? Let's see in the further segment. The goal of artificial intelligence is to create an expert systems and to implement the human intelligence in a machine. So when we say to create expert systems, that means it has to exhibit, it should have an intelligent behavior, it should know how to learn, it should know how to demonstrate or can able to express, it should know how to explain, and also guide the user in case of any eventualities. Now the second part, implement human intelligence, means the human intelligence should seen in the machines. That means it can able to create system that can understand, that can think, that can learn, that can behave like a human beings. So this is the way the intelligent human human intelligence can be seen in the machines in a more durable way, more responsive, and more it can able to contribute in a very clear, and there will not be an error, just like if there is a redundancy in the given task. So based on these two factors, the goal of the objective of the artificial intelligence is being determined. Now let's see some of the applications of the artificial intelligence. There are lots of areas, but I have taken the certain applications so that the more about its further expansion, you will refer the additional textbooks and able to enhance your awareness and knowledge. Now let's see, the first is the expert systems. The expert system is that systems when a system or a machine is being able to impart a reasoning and a solutions, then that particular system is called as an expert system. A system, when we consider, that means it is just like a passive. But when we talk about expert system, it's an active system that can able to decide and that can able to give a response by itself. The second is a natural language. A natural language processing is another artificial intelligence systems. That means the computer can able to recognize the human language. For example, a Chinese want to communicate with the English person, and the Chinese does not know how to speak English. Then in that particular situation, the Chinese will be talking to the natural language processing to convert the Chinese language into English language, and that particular language is being shared to the end user through the speaker or through the systems, so that the end user can able to recognize what's the intelligence would like to express. So this is a natural language processing systems. The other is a gaming. You know that nowadays lots of computer game is being taking place, three-dimensional games, artificial intelligence games. So the artificial intelligence also plays in the gaming, for example, in the chess, pokers, tic-tac, toy, all these extra areas, even in the cricket, in the soccers, and so many examples you can able to visualize. The vision systems. Vision system means like a spy aeroplane, medical diagnose, criminal investigations. Take an example in the nuclear power plant, how these particular systems can able to visualize and take decisions. So these are the certain example of the visual systems. The blind can able to utilize the artificial vision systems in a way the unblind person can able to perform. The other area is the handwriting recognitions. You know that nowadays the Google is having a handwriting recognitions facilities in its software systems. If you go to the Google Drive, and there if you try to store the text, and using the Google software support, you can convert the handwritten recognitions into a real font, which is the text font of the systems. So this is the handwritten recognition. So the text written in your language, in your form, can be converted to a printed forms. Intelligent robots. Nowadays, you know that most of the applications, the robots is being used just like perform like a human being. So this is the another area of the intelligent robots contributions as a part of a artificial intelligence applications. And you will see that in the near futures, robot will be penetrating into most of the areas. Of course, nowadays the robots is being used for the hotels. It is being used for the receptions and so and so. Let's talk about the type of intelligence. There are different types of intelligence. I take an examples for some of the intelligence, like a linguistic intelligence. Linguistic intelligence means if a person can have a ability to speak, recognize, or create a particular speech or a sound, this particular form of intelligence is called as a linguistic intelligence. There is another intelligence called a logical or a mathematical intelligence. That means if a systems can able to understand the complex and can able to predict what is the current situations, what the systems can able to find an abstract idea about the particular situation. So this particular logical form of recognitions of an intelligence methods of a particular systems is called as a logical mathematical intelligence. Spatial intelligence. If a systems can able to visualize and recognize a three-dimensional image, then this is called as a spatial intelligence. There are still more intelligence are there, like a musical intelligence. Musical intelligence is that systems can able to sing and can able to know the particular lyrics and how the lyrics flow is, what is the pitch level, what is the rhythmic level of that particular lyric, and can able to create its own music and can able to sing. So this is known as musical intelligence. There is another is that particularly bodily kinesthetic intelligence. Bodily kinesthetic intelligence means if ability to use body to solve the problem and manipulate the object. So this is the particular form of intelligence systems. Intrapersonal intelligence. That means if a system has an ability to recognize and distinguish its own feeling interaction and motivations. This is known as intrapersonal intelligence. So this is being used particularly wherever the psychology related issues or a psychology related particular medication is being given through the intrapersonal intelligence. Personal intelligence or interintelligence, interpersonal intelligence means ability to recognize and distribution among people's feelings, beliefs and intentions. That means particularly in the criminal systems, we can able to use it to identify that particular person's feeling and beliefs as well as intentions. So this particular form of intelligence can able to solve through the different types of intelligence. So that is what in terms of the musical, bodily and interpersonal. So musical is related to the performs with respect to the form, how we can able to trace the difference between the different rhythmic level or a pitch level. Bodily kinesthetic means it is related to the particular body related use to how the ability to use the body to solve the particular problems. So that is what it means particularly in the case of players. This particularly we can see these examples. Intrapersonal, as I told to you, to ability to recognize and distinguish its feelings, and interpersonal means it is ability to recognize and distinguish the feeling, belief and intentions. So these are nothing but the different forms of different types of intelligence. Now let's see the other area, intelligent factors. What are the components that contribute to the intelligent factors? Or we can say intelligence composed of. So intelligence factors composed of some of the terms which is being posed across. One is reasoning. Reasoning means basically it is for judgment or for making a decisions, or you can see that for predicting. So this is intelligence main components. Then only we can say that the particular intelligence is effective. The other area is learning. Learning means it can able to have a skill to study or to recognize and to put it into practice and have an awareness building for making decisions. So this is learning methods, skill of studying, then practicing and awareness building. The other area we can say problem solving. Problem solving is a very important, is that even if you have an intelligence, you have a reasoning, you have a learning, but you should go for producing an output. So the problem solving is that process of selecting a best suitable solutions for the particular situations. Another area of the particular intelligence is linguistic intelligence. We'll talk about it. Say for example, when we as a human being, when we communicate with others, we will not speak exactly the terms how it appears in the text. Rather we use in a linguistic terms. So like for example, take an example like the inside the room temperature is little hot. We never use the terms like 42.39 degree temperature. Rather we'll say that the inside room temperature is very hot, or it is very chill, or it is moderate. So these particular very high temperature, low, moderate, all these terms is nothing but a linguistic terms. So that is a linguistic intelligence. Then perceptions, a process of acquiring, that is very important in the case of a person. So if it is able to acquire and can able to interpret and select to organize the any sensory information, because intelligence is coming from the sensor. So in the human being, our eye, our nose, our tongue, our ear can can able to sense these particular intelligence through their various sensors. In the same way, the intelligence sensor or the system sensor or the computer sensors or a robot sensors need all these particular sensors to collect this input in a very clear-cut manner. So input is there, then you can able to have intelligent input like a linguistic intelligence, and can able to make a reasoning by learning, and you can able to put that one for making a clear-cut problem solving. So these entire components is a part of a intelligence systems factors, or a composed of intelligent components. Now let's come to the other segment, the human and machine intelligence, how we distinguish these two. Human intelligence, when we consider, human can able to perceive by patterns. That is what the human intelligence is that. So this is very important factor. The human can able to recognize by patterns. And we give to the human not only this pattern, we give the human instructions. So we give instruction that then the human can able to recognize that one particular. The other thing is that the human stores, that is the storage area. Human stores and recall these informations by patterns. So that's why the storage is also of this information is in the form of pattern. Say a child is seeing a cat, so it will recognize that particular cat pattern and put it in the in its memory. Next time when the same child is seeing a tiger, so if the first thing is comes to its mind is that cat. So that's the pattern is of the pattern makes that particular child to recognize that particular things based on its storage capacity. Now the third is a recognize. Recognize means human can figure out the complete object, even if some part of it is missing or distorted. So that is a recognize. So if pattern is there, then if some part is distorted, also based on the storage, it can able to correlate. That is known as a human intelligence. Machine intelligence, on the other hand, is as I told you, is that here is instruction, but here it is based on the data, or machine is perceived based on the rules and the data. And search. Machine do it by a search algorithms, that you have to understand. Whereas this search is a search algorithm which will try to recognize whatever is stored in the memory, just like in the human way. These machines also put those things in the memory, and thereby the searching algorithm will try to identify. The limitation of the machine is that the machine will able to learn and able to train the systems, and whenever it put under test, it will able to give the percentage closeness of the efficiency. But the way human can able to recognize things, machine cannot. Machine intelligence has its own limitations. That's why we always says that as compared to the machine, humans is having a more intelligence and more storage, because in the storage, human brains is having a millions of neurons, whereas in the case of a machine's storage, it will have a multiple cores will be there, but it will never reach to the millions of neurons. So that's how human intelligence is considered to be the great, and it is a genius creations. The third part is that how the artificial intelligence contributes in the research areas in terms of its various domains. So here I have given some of the domains. Artificial intelligence can be used for the natural language processing, fuzzy logic, neural network, genetic algorithm, expert systems, robotics. I have spoken about the natural language processing. The natural language processing is used for basically pattern recognition systems, like face recognitions, character recognitions, hand writing recognition. So I have spoken earlier. So that is what natural language. Fuzzy logic we'll be talking in the future slides. In the fuzzy logic is fuzzy means that is not clear, but it can be able to solve the particular systems problems with the closeness values. So it is like fuzzy logic in the consumer electronics, automobiles, in the process industries. This particular fuzzy logic contributes a lot. Even our washing machines, fuzzy logic system, cameras, all these artificial intelligence of factors or the components contributes towards the applications. Neural network. Neural network, as the name indicates, is that. Sorry, I was to consider this particular term as a neural network. I consider as a natural language. So whatever I converted terms here, it is basically for a neural network. So neural network is basically for a pattern recognitions. It is used for handwriting recognitions, face recognition, character recognitions. All these things are a neural network. Now coming to this particular natural language processing is basically, you can know that if in the Google, when we try to select some search, immediately after that one you can see that we get a similar form of a search description, or the pop-up window appears to understand that what is our requirement or feelings, and that can enable the systems can or the machines can able to recognize and produce it. So a Google Futures is a part of a natural language processing, speech recognitions, automatic voice output. So these are nothing but natural language processing contributions. Then coming the expert systems, genetic algorithm. Genetic algorithm is basically just like in the human, we try to take decisions based on the genetic systems, like chromosomes, genes and chromosomes. In the same way, the genetic algorithms can do that same selections based on the bits level of the digital for doing a effective algorithm preparations based on the programming levels. So we will talk about that genetic algorithm more about in the future discussions. Expert systems, it is basically a systems that is can able to perform in the form of artificial intelligence way, that is known as expert systems. So like for example flight landing systems or flight tracking systems. In the hospital, clinical systems can able to do a expert systems. Nowadays, you can know that because of the novel corona disease, in the COVID-19, every day that database or the data set is being used by several scholars for trying to identify the different condition, how many of the peoples are got affected, how many of them got recovered, how many have got death. All this thing is a part of expert systems. Finally, the robotics, it is used for anything working like a human being, for welding, cleaning, checking precisions, for moving robotic cars. You know that nowadays we are hearing about driverless car. It's a part of a robotic systems. So these are nothing but an artificial intelligence area. Artificial intelligence has an advantage and disadvantage. The advantage part is that it can reduce the error. The human being cannot do the redundant work in a same pattern, so or in the same format. So this can be overcome with the artificial intelligence systems. A difficult task it can able to explore, and it will not because of the difficult explorations can be carried by the artificial intelligence. This is being used in the Mars explorations. So that is, you can see in the use of artificial intelligence. Daily applications we can use for redundant work. Artificial intelligence can able to produce a substantial, appropriate and a clear-cut similar form of a response. All the digital applications can be supported by the artificial intelligence. But what is the disadvantage is that because of error reductions and for this one, it needs a very high-end systems, a heavy computationals, and as well as the algorithms should be very large and very complex. So that's why the systems becomes very complex, and thereby its cost increases. No replicant of the humans, even if it is able to a difficult system can able to explore, but human can able to visualize beyond. So human is just like a static, artificial is just like a passive in that under these situations. No improvement with experience, whereas no improvement with experience means that experience is nothing but the amount of a data or the informations. If the amount of information or the data to train this artificial intelligence is less, then its limitations will exhibit in the daily applications. No original creativity. It do whatever the system is being trained for performing, but human can even able to visualize even more beyond. So that's why the creativity of human being is very strong. So these are nothing but the components of artificial intelligence. And before I go to the conclusions of artificial intelligence, we have seen the various segments of the discussions in this case of artificial intelligence. If you try to summarize, if I'm summarizing what are the things what we discussed about the artificial intelligence. We discussed about we discussed about intelligence, objective of the artificial intelligence, its applications, its various types, its components or its factors, and what are the difference between the human as well as the machine intelligence, different artificial intelligence research area or the domains, and finally we discuss about artificial intelligence advantage and disadvantage. So before concluding, I put it like this one, is that if the machine could able to pretend like a human intelligence, then there is a certain about certain things we should consider about intelligence. But artificial intelligence can make a replacement of the human intelligence, but it is a long way. It's exciting and rewarding discipline, particularly it's a multidisciplinary, but more amount of computer science contribution in the artificial intelligence is taking place in the software segments, with electronic and other branches is contributing towards the hardware. So it is concerned with the automations of intelligence behavior. And currently the use of artificial intelligence is taking place in almost all the areas, starting from this medicine. Right now you can see that in the novel corona diseases, artificial intelligence is working a lot in the field of economics, or in the shares market, in the field of intelligence, in the field of domestic applications, in the field of defense applications, traditional games, and so the artificial intelligence is contributing a tremendous scope for contributions. And artificial intelligence work like a human being, and it is unbelievable to think at this particular juncture to say that it has taken the place of a human brain. A long way it has to go, and a lot of research contribution is existing and prevailing, and there is a lot of scope for a researcher and as a students to study in this area, and the future modern world is going to be a part of an artificial intelligence, and let's see how it is going to change the scenario about the current world towards the future world. With this, I conclude.